All right. Hey there, this is Matt Weld from Illinois Area 5 Regional Offices of Education, and I'm going to be making a quick and dirty video on how to automate the whole ISBE evaluation process using Google. We're going to be using Google Forms, Google Docs, and Google Sheets, and an add-on in Sheets. So here we go. The outline for this is going to be that if you take these in order, it will definitely help you out. And I've learned this through trial and error, and I'll explain why as I go through the video. In the description of this video on YouTube, I will put the links to public copies of both the evaluation form and the evidence of completion form. All right, so you can make copies of those, put them in your drive, and then you'll have them for your use as well. So you're going to, first of all, you're going to use the Google Form version of the ISBE 7721. You want to open it up, fix it to, reflect your date and title of the activity. If you want to modify the little message that people get when they submit it, make sure you do that as well. Also uncheck the box that says it's only good for people in your domain, because people might then want to fill it out in their own personal form, personal domain, personal Gmail, whatever. That's totally up to you if you want to do that. But then you also need to fill out the form. You won't be able to run the spreadsheet add-on until there's something in the form, in the spreadsheet. All right, so go ahead and click that little eyeball that's on the form in the upper right hand corner and fill it out, just so there is a row of data on the spreadsheet. Okay, and then you're going to go to Drive and you're going to create a separate folder for your evidence of completion forms, the 7721Bs. This is just something I do to keep everything organized. So if you keep folders inside folders, however you want to organize it, I just find that if I create a folder for the merged evidence of completion forms, then they're all in one spot. Okay, and if you go and do that right now, you'll be able to find it easier because it's been recently modified. All right, so then you are going to want to go in and create a copy of the 7721B Google Doc and make any updates. Fill in the title of the presentation and the date and the number of PD hours, the date next to your signature, that kind of thing. All right, so I'm now going to take you through all of these, and we'll also go through the final step of activating the Autocrat add-on on Google Sheets and going through all the steps of there. So feel free to email me if you have any questions, and stop this video at any time. And here we go. So in my Google Drive, I have created a folder just for this project. And so you can see that I have the form, I have the doc, that's the evidence of completion form, I have the spreadsheet. So I've already filled out a copy of the evaluation form so that there's something on the spreadsheet. And I've also created the folder for the merged evidence of completion forms. All right, so if you haven't done that yet, take a minute to do all of that. In the meantime now, we are going to open up the spreadsheet and we're going to do Autocrat. Well, no, wait. First of all, we need to fix... Okay, I have fixed this. So the doc, that's your evidence of completion form. So where these little brackets are, this is where it's going to be merged with information from the spreadsheet. So your name, your IEN, that's for each of the participants. So you'll need to fill in the activity, the date, whoever the approved provider is, their RCDT code, and the number of PD hours. And then I have a JPEG of my signature that I put on there, and then I always put this date here being the date of the event. All right. On the Google form, that's the actual 7721A. Make sure that you go through and fill in all this information. And I did leave 3 questions at the bottom that I like to collect that are not part of the official ISBE form. But I think that as long as you collect all the stuff they need, you can also collect data that's good for you. So if there are Likert style questions or open-ended questions such as these that you want to put on there, now's your chance, right? And so then I did fill it out. This would be the title of date. It is now, it doesn't say the directions conference. I'm just going to cancel this. I did fix that. So it just says, thank you for attending the professional development. All right. All right. So then we are on the spreadsheet, and I did fill out the form once. So there is one row of data on here. I'm going to go into add-ons. If you don't have the Autocrat add-on already, you're going to go down here to Get Add-ons, search for it, initialize it or start it or whatever it is, connect it, I think it is. Okay. But once you do that, Autocrat will always be in this list of add-ons whenever you open a spreadsheet. Okay. You don't ever have to go back and get it again. It will always be there. So I'm going to go ahead and launch Autocrat. All right, so we're going to start a new job. And I like to be as specific as possible when I name files. So I'm just going to do that. And I always, if you want to, you're going to click save. If you want to save and exit, you need to go on to something else, like you got interrupted or phone call or something like that. This does not autosave like the rest of Google. So make sure that if you do need to leave this, you click save. But for right now, since I'm going to go on to the next step, I'm just going to press next. Okay. So now I need to choose my template, and this is where you're going to choose the doc. Okay, so I want to, from Drive, and it connects to your Drive, and since it was something you opened recently, okay, it's going to be right there at the top. That's one reason why I have you go in there and click in them and make changes right before you go through this process, so you won't have to like search for things. It can be a hassle. All right, next. Now we're mapping the source data, and this little pull out shows that you can, let's click on those. It automatically goes to your clipboard. All right. So form responses 1, you just leave this pretty much the same unless you're getting fancy, but for basics, this is where it's going to be. And you'll see that it matches exactly. If there's a little red tag right here, it's like a little icon of a luggage tag. If there's a little one and it would be right here, that means that something needs to be fixed. But right now, the tag your name that's on the Google Doc matches the column your name on the evidence of completion form. Okay, if it doesn't, you can fix them. Okay, leave these just the way they are. Okay, now the file settings. See, if you read this fine print down here, you can use the tags, and this is where I do use the tags, so that when the evidence of completion form is in that folder that we just made of all the merged evidence of completion forms, by just looking at the file name, you'll be able to see whose it is. So I take your name. I clicked on it. I'm going to do Control V or Command V if you're on an Apple. I'm just going to put SIP day, date and time, and whatever else you might want to say, just so that you know it uniquely labels each of those files. Okay. All right. And so I want it to be a PDF, and I'm just going to leave this the way it is. Go to next. Now I want to choose the destination folder, I want it to be the one I just made. Okay? And it's going to be the most recent one, which is another reason why I wanted you to do it all in that order. Because if you had to go and make it now, it's just a hassle. It's just easier to make it in advance, and then it's easy right there. Now I can delete this one because I don't want them to go into both folders. Okay, so all the ones that are created using this add-on are now going to go into this folder I just created. I skip this, skip that. I want to, yes, I want to share this doc because I want to be able to share it with the recipient. If I stayed at no, it would still make them, but then it would just be a folder from me. Okay, it wouldn't get. And do I want to allow them to reshare? That's up to you. I just say yes. Send from a generic no reply address. I put no because I want them to know it comes from me and to be able to respond with any questions. All right, so now we're filling out the email. And I want this to be, send it to their email address. So I clicked on it, Control V. I'm going to reply to me. Type in the subject. And then you can put anything else here. Now remember, you can also use the tags. So I could come in here and say, you know, Control V, comma, personalize the message. Thanks for coming. Your EOC is attached. Okay. And then of course you can, you know, do whatever. All right. Now for the triggers, I want this to run anytime somebody submits something onto the form. Okay. If I ran on a time trigger, that would say, okay, I want to only run this like at 1 p.m. every day. I don't want to do that. I always want to run it so that people get it as soon as they hit the submit button, basically. So I'm going to say yes. Enable form triggers. Yes. I'm sure there's a way to do this in advance so it doesn't have to go back and update them later, but I just do it this way. All right, so now you don't have a next option, so you click Save. Now you can run the job, you can go back and edit it, you can preview the job details, or you can trash it. Okay, so I am going to run it. Crossing my fingers, I'm knocking on wood because this is where the rubber hits the road. One row will be merged. That's why it needs the data, because it has to have something to work with on the spreadsheet. All right, I guess I can go check my email now and see if I got an email. Sometimes the emails take a couple minutes. Actually, it's like in the minutes. It's not just necessarily seconds. So if people like fill it out and they're like, nah, I don't have it yet, tell them to be patient. You know, let me know at your prep hour at the end of the day. All right, so it looks like it's here. My evidence of completion form. Thanks for coming. Your evidence completion is attached. I click on it, has my name, has the IEIN that I put in there, and I did put it in as X's. Yeah, see, everything else is just the way I left it. So there we go. Looks like everything worked as it should. So once again, if we go back to this workflow, make sure you can now see, I think, why I had you do things in this order, just to make things so that they come up in the Autocrat add-on faster. If you do have any questions, please feel free to email me or give me a call. Thank you.